Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing? So last video was on reducing fractions, and this one will be about adding and subtracting them. So the first half of the video will be focused on adding and subtracting improper and proper fractions. As you guys may know, a proper fraction is less than 1. Its numerator is less than its denominator, and an improper fraction is greater than 1, which means its numerator is greater than or equal to its denominator. The second half of the video will be based on adding and subtracting mixed numbers. A mixed number consists of a whole number and a fraction. It is greater than 1. Now what you guys may know or must know is that a mixed number can be changed into an improper fraction. So once we know how to add and subtract proper and improper fractions, when we reach mixed numbers, we just need to learn how to change them into improper fractions and then follow the same rules. So here we go. With adding and subtracting fractions, you may have like denominators or unlike denominators. However, the fraction may be proper or improper. The same rules apply. Adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators. There are 3 steps. 1. Add or subtract the numerators. 2. Write the sum or difference over the common denominator. 3. Simplify if possible. So our first example, we have 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. And for this, we're going to follow the 3 steps when doing it. So our first step, add or subtract the numerators. And of course, we're going to add because that is the operation of the problem. So we have 1 plus 1, and that is equal to 2. Step 2, write the sum or difference over the common denominator. And common denominator means both fractions share the same denominator. So therefore, we're just going to write it back. So of course, we have 2 3's, so we'll put back our 3. And our answer would be 2 over 3. With this fraction, it cannot be simplified, so we will leave it as it is. So moving on to example 2. We have 11 over 20 minus 1 over 20. And again, we're going to follow the steps. 1. Add or subtract the numerators, and we're going to subtract 11 minus 1. We get 10. Write the sum or difference over the common denominator, and the common denominator is 20. So our answer is 10 over 20, but here it is obvious that this can be simplified. So with simplifying, we divide by the same number, and it is quicker and easier to divide by the largest factor between both numbers. And we said that in our reducing fractions video that we did the last time. So the largest factor between 10 and 20 is 10, so we divide 10 into 10 one time, 10 into 20 2 times, so our answer would be 1 over 2. Moving on. So with adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, the rules change because the denominators are different. I will show you 2 ways in solving these problems. For both, we will make it a common denominator, but for the first one, it may be easier because after making it a common denominator, it will follow the same structure as adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators. So, the first way in solving one of these problems, you may multiply the top and bottom of each fraction by the denominator of the other. Can I repeat that? You may multiply the top and bottom of each fraction by the denominator of the other. So for example, we have 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3. How we're going to do it is, we're going to multiply 6 by 1 and a 6 by 3. Then we're going to multiply 3 by 1 and a 3 by 6. So 3 times 1 equals 3. 3 times 6 equals 18. Plus 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And there you have it. We have 2 fractions with similar denominators. So in order to solve this, we would add the numerators, put it over the common denominator, and simplify where possible. So 6 plus 3, we have 9. And our common denominator is 18, so we'll put it back. Then it is obvious that this fraction can be simplified. And we're going to use the largest factor between the two, which is 9. So 9 into itself goes 1, 9 into 18 goes 2 times. So our answer will be 1 over 2. The second way in doing one of these problems is actually finding the LCM, which is the lowest common multiple. There are many different ways to find the LCM, however, we're going to only do 2 in this video. The first one is listing out the multiples between or among the numbers, then choosing the smallest one. Well, multiples are infinite, so you are never going to list them all. So once you see a common multiple between or among the numbers in which you are finding the LCM, you can stop listing. We're going to use the same example as before. So we have 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3, and we'll be finding the LCM of 6 and 3. We'll now start listing. As you can see, the smallest number that is common between both is 6. Therefore, 6 is our LCM. The second way of finding the LCM is through prime factorization. Please be reminded you can only factorize using prime numbers, and a prime number has 2 factors, 1 and itself. We'll use the same example as we did before, so 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3, and of course we'll be finding the LCM of 6 and 3. So we'll draw a table and we'll put 3 and 6 in their appropriate places. We will now start by dividing by the lowest prime number. Once at least one of the numbers can be divided by the prime number, we will continue dividing. Our lowest prime number is 2. 6 can be divided by 2, however it cannot go into 3 without leaving a remainder. So we will carry down our 3 and divide our 6 by the prime number 2. So we carry down the 3, and 2 into 6 goes 3 times. Now we have 3 and 3. 2 cannot go into these numbers without leaving a remainder, so therefore we now have to move on to the next prime number. The next prime number that can go into both numbers without leaving a remainder is 3. So we'll put down our 3. 3 into 3 goes 1 time, 3 into 3 goes 1 time. What we do now is the prime numbers to the left of the table, we multiply them and we will get our LCM. So of course we will multiply 2 and 3, and 2 times 3 equals 6. So our LCM is 6. Seeing that we have learned how to find our LCM 2 different ways, it is now time to solve the problem. 1 over 6 plus 1 over 3. So we're going to draw a line underneath both fractions and we're going to put our LCM. Notice the LCM is the same whether we find it the way of writing out the multiples or by prime factorization. So our LCM is 6. Now in order to work this problem, first we divide the denominator by the LCM. The number we get, we multiply it by the numerator before we add or subtract. So let me show you how to do this. Now 6 into 6 goes 1 time, and the number we get is 1. We're going to multiply 1 by the numerator. So 1 times 1 is 1, so we put that down. 3 into 6 goes 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2, so we put that down as well. Then we go from there, we add or subtract. So 1 plus 2 is 3, so our answer is 3 over 6. And right here it can be simplified. And we're going to divide by the highest factor between the two numbers. So the highest factor between the two numbers is 3. 3 into itself goes 1 time, 3 into 6 goes 2 times, so our answer is 1 over 2. Mixed numbers. As we said, a mixed number consists of a whole number and a fraction. To add or subtract mixed numbers, we first change it into an improper fraction. Well, I'm sure there are other ways to add and subtract mixed numbers, but for this video, we'll first change it into an improper fraction. In order to change a mixed number into an improper fraction, you would first multiply the denominator by the whole number, then add it to the numerator. And of course, that would be your new numerator, so you would write back your existing denominator. So for example, we have 7 and 1 over 3 plus 2 and 2 over 4. So first you change both mixed numbers into improper fractions. So for the first one, we'd say 7 times 3, that would be 21, and you'd add a 21 to the numerator, which is 1. So 21 plus 1 equals 22, so your new fraction will be 22 over 3. For the second part, it's 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, and you'd add that to 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, so your new fraction would be 10 over 4. So as you can see, this problem turned into adding fractions with unlike denominators, and for that all you have to do is find the LCM and solve the problem. That is it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from it. If you have different topics, you can put them in the comment section. Just request what you want to see. Bye.